Welcome to Parts of Montessori, a series where I talk about my past, present, and future experiences in Montessori. I'm Bethany, a former Montessori student and now a Montessori teacher. Parts of Montessori is part of my online business, Parts of the Language LLC, where I sell digital and printable products and services for Spanish language learning and digital and printable products for Montessori environments. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about what technology I use in my Montessori lower elementary classroom. But first, I want to talk about what I'm currently doing. So one thing I'll talk about today is an activity that we tried to do this previous Friday. So last week, we tried to make an educational game as a class in the large area we have in our school. They created it for the kindergarten students to play with us as well. So the kindergarten, first, second, third grade. We have these emotion plushies the students have in our piece area. So they each picked an emotion plushie to be their game piece. And then they had to move them across the floor. And in order to move, they had to answer questions on a dry erase board. So I would just ask a question out loud. And if they got it right, they got to move. But the thing with that is that the dice we used was a north, south, east, or west dice. So they might move backwards even if they got it right. It was just the luck of the draw. And I also did it that way so then if a student got the question wrong, they wouldn't feel sad. And we were talking about that because a big thing was how to play fair and do not give up and to not get upset if you don't get the answers correct. So also tying the emotional learning back into it, because it's tough for these kids all to lose or to think people are cheating at games, and it's just a big topic right now. So I was trying to think of how we could come together as a class, a community building activity, and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And the kids helped come up with all the ideas. And so it was just an activity for a Friday afternoon to try to see if we could do it. And the game worked out pretty well. They kept not getting very far because the north and with the south, east, or west, but it's also a good way to have them practice the directions. Now I will talk about the technology I use in my class. Montessori environments aren't known for using technology, but I realize we do have to keep up with the current times. I have 2 Chromebooks in my classroom. The students use the computers daily to practice their typing skills, and we use Ed Club for typing. And the purpose of that is to obviously help them type, but also keep their hands in the correct position, and mostly to remember where the letters are on the keyboard. I will also say about the typing is they like to see how fast they can get it and their accuracy percentage. So they also see some statistics about, hey, well, I did this many moves in this long of a time, and or like it keeps track of the accuracy and the words per minute and things like that. So the students also like to see what goes on with that. And so they're saying, oh, well, out of 100%, or did I get this much? And they do talk about it. So it's very interesting to see from that standpoint as well. And now we also have another website we use called Raz Kids, and that is just for some reading practice. We have a lot of other reading we do, but this is just one of their daily works. They have typing as a daily work and Raz Kids as a daily work. They can also practice these 2 at home because both of these programs require a student to use a username and password, so that is also a practical life skill of remembering their username and password. They also use the laptops to be able to do research. I will look up what they want to research. For example, animals of Asia for kids. It's important to put the for kids at the end so that they will take them to a website for children. I will click on the website and quickly scan over it to make sure everything looks good. We use National Geographic Kids a lot. They collect their research and write it down in their own words onto a piece of paper, and then which you could find my research paper at one of my hubs in the description below. Then they open a Google Doc and type it up after they write down their information and their facts in their own words. And the research papers will say like topic sentence, like what's it about, and then like a supporting detail 1, 2, and 3, and then like a conclusion sentence. They find a picture on the website or on the internet, or they draw their own picture about what they just did their report about, and then we hang them up on the fridge. We also make monthly newspapers, and we use Canva for that. So the students write what they want to say, and then either they will type it up or I will type it up depending on what the student wants to do. And then the kids will help design the newspaper, and they pick the little images from Canva. A lot of students write stories, so they'll pick something they do for their story or things like that. We also did menu math, and we created menus on Canva. And then we also did the knowledge fair projects. Of course, this episode is sponsored by my own business, Parts of the Language LLC. Please sign up for my free Montessori hub of resources that you can use in your Montessori environments. There are over 15 plus items, including 453 printable math equation cards, 36 weeks for first and second level editing sentences, and so much more. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.